And remember, share computer sound.
Okay, good. Thanks. Can we just quickly check if you can go on mute? We'll just check if there is a echo coming from your side. Mute Prabhudev. Okay, seems okay. So I think you can mute it. Swati, you're ready? Yeah, you can unmute yourself. I'll just share the agenda.
Yes.
Okay. Um, okay, what we have planned today for the program, opening meditation for 5 minutes, and there'll be a prayer and meditation reading as part of that, led by Swati. Then Darshan message, I can read it while I share the Darshan message that came out today. Then there is Mother's message on victory. Um, and it has two contents. One is Jared is going to read the Coming of Superman Consciousness, his blog, published in our SAS Singapore blogspot website. So he's going to read through that, and then we will go through Mother's Voice on Victory on the YouTube. Then there'll be a small one musical song composed by myself and lyrics from a member from Aurobindo Society who is resided in Delhi, Kritika, and sung by myself, Preeti, and another friend of mine, Vijay. So, and we also have a youth dramatization of the mother's arrival for 15 minutes by our youth team there, led by Meenakshi, Akash, Rishabh, Dheeraj, and Atmika. Then there'll be a reading from The Sunlit Path by Deepika. Today is a birthday, so happy birthday to her. And we'll close it off with a guided meditation by Jayanti. Yep. So let's start with the meditation. Sorry. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the prayers and meditation. So what you can see.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I will read today's prayer. April 23rd, 1914. All rules have vanished. The regularity of the discipline is gone. All effort has ceased. Not by my own will, nor, I believe, through negligence, but because circumstances are working together to bring this about. It seems that this inner will, always alert, like a steersman holding the rudder, has evaporated or fallen asleep, and my being is only something peacefully surrendered, which lets itself be carried along by the stream. Till now, it seems to me, the course has always been in a straight line, and I would keep the hope that it is thou, O Lord, who guidest the stream. But surely if I have erred at times, through to a great rigidity, a lack of suppleness and spontaneity, it could very well be that now I err through the opposite excess. I have come to accept peacefully the state I am in and to tell myself that thou wilt bestow upon me the true consciousness, the absolute consciousness when thou thinkest it best. I look at all this changing world as a game unfolding itself, and I take part in this game with the same energy and conviction with which I would if I believed it real and important. All this is very new, but what is certain is that never before were my mind and heart in so complete in repose. What will come out of that, I do not know, but I trust thee, O Lord. Thou knowest the best way of using and developing thy instrument.
So we'll move on to the Darshan message. Thank you, Swati. Centenary of the Mother's return to Pondicherry. As the mother approached Pondicherry, I was on the boat at sea, not expecting anything, when all of a sudden, abruptly, about 2 nautical miles from Pondicherry, the quality, I may even say the physical quality of the atmosphere, of the air, changed so much that I knew we were entering the aura of Sri Aurobindo. It was a physical experience, and I guarantee that whoever has a sufficiently awakened consciousness can feel the same thing, the mother. That she should come here and work with me for a common goal was, it were, a divine dispensation. She has helped and is helping to give a concrete form to my yoga. This would not have been possible without her cooperation. One of the 2 great steps in this yoga is to take refuge in the Mother, Sri Aurobindo. I request Jared to talk about the Superman consciousness, his blog.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Anand, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
You also.
Okay, the 24th of April occupies a special place in the ashram history. It was the day when the mother returned back to Pondicherry for good. the day of a final arrival, which marked a new phase of a work with Sri Aurobindo for Earth and Men. It is the tangible sign, as the mother note, of the sheer victory over the adverse forces. So now I will read this excerpt. It was written in the blog from 1960, the 50th anniversary of the coming of what the mother called the Superman consciousness, one of the chief fruits of a final coming to Pondicherry, a new consciousness that is with us and assists us and all that who are sincere in the work of transformation. 1st January, these are all the mother's words. 1st January 1969. In the night, it came slowly, and on waking up this morning, there was as though a golden dawn, and the atmosphere was so light. The body felt, well, it is truly, truly new. A golden light, transparent and benevolent. Benevolent in the sense of a certainty, a harmonious certainty. It was new. There you are. And when I say Ban Ani, Happy New Year to people, it is this which I pass on to them. And this morning I passed my time like this, spontaneously saying Ban Ani, so. And I need to. On the 1st, something truly strange happened. And I was not the only one to feel it. Some others also have felt it. It was just after midnight, but I felt it at 2 o'clock and the others at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was something very material. I mean, it was very external, and it was luminous with a golden light. It was very strong, very powerful. But even so, its character was smiling benevolence, a peaceful delight, and a kind of opening out into delight and light. And it was like a Ban Ani, like a greeting. It took me by surprise. But I told you a word or two about it, and I spoke of it also to 2 or 3 persons. They all have felt it. That is to say, it was very material. They all had felt it, like this, a kind of joy, but a joy friendly, powerful, oh, very, very gentle, very smiling, very benevolent. I do not know what it is, I do not know what it is, but it's a kind of benevolence. Therefore, it was something very close to the human. And it was so concrete, so concrete. My own impression was that of immense personality, immense, that is to say, for it, the earth was small, small like this, like a ball. An immense personality, very, very benevolent, which came for. Mother seems to lift this ball gently from the hollow of her hands. It gave the impression of a personal divinity, and yet it was, I do not know, who comes to help. And so strong at the same time, so gentle, so awe-embracing. And it was very external. The body felt it everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. It was luminous, smiling, and so benevolent through powerfulness. That is to say, generally in the human being, benevolence is something a little weak. Okay. A little weak. In this sense, it does not like battle. It does not like fight. But this is nothing of the kind. A benevolence that imposes itself. It has interested me because it is altogether new and so concrete like this. Mother touches the arms of her chair, like what the physical consciousness usually consider as others, concrete like that. That is to say, it did not pass through an inner being, through the psychic being. It came directly upon the body. What is it? Yes, perhaps it is this. Since it came, the feeling of the body is a kind of certitude. A certitude as though now it was no longer in anxiety or uncertainty to know. What will it be? What will the supramental be like physically? What will it be like physically? the body used to ask itself. Now it does not think of it anymore. It is contented. Yes, I believe so, yes. I have the feeling that it is the formation which is going to enter, going to express itself, to enter and express itself in the bodies that will be the bodies of the supramental, or perhaps the home, the Superman. I do not know, the intermediary between the two. Perhaps the Superman. He was very human, but a human in divine proportions, I must say. A human without weaknesses and without shadows. It was all right, all light and smiling and sweetness at the same time. Yes, perhaps the Superman. We will end at the 8th January 1969 reading. It is the descent of the Superman consciousness. It was the 1st of January after midnight. I woke up at 2 in the morning, surrounded by a consciousness so concrete and new in the sense that I had never felt it before. And it lasted absolutely concrete, present for 2 or 3 hours. And afterwards, it spread out and went about to find people who could receive it. And I knew it was the consciousness of the Superman. That is to say, the intermediary between man and the supramental being. I'll just read one more paragraph. It came as a mentor. It was practical, quite practical. This thing must be rejected. This must be accepted. This must be made general. That all the inner movements. And it even becomes very material in the sense that it says with regard to some vibrations, this you must encourage. To others, this must be canalized. To others, again, this must be removed. Little indications like that.
Thank you, Jared. The blog is available in our website. So next, as per the agenda, would be to look at the video of Mother's Voice, or message of 31st December 1954. It's a 7 minutes video.
No human will can finally prevail against the divine's will. Let us put ourselves deliberately and exclusively on the side of the divine, and the victory is ultimately certain. Maintenant, je vous lirai 2 questions qui ont été posées et les réponses de Sri Aurobindo. Voici la question. It seems to me that the number of people in the world accepting the truth of our yoga of transformation would not be as large as those who accepted Buddhism, Vedanta or Christianity. Voici la réponse de Sri Aurobindo. Je vous recommande son humour. Nothing depends on the numbers. The numbers of Buddhism and Christianity were so great because the majority professed it as a creed, without its making the least difference to their external life. If the new consciousness were satisfied with that, it could also, and much more easily, command homage and acceptance by the whole earth. It is because it is a great consciousness, the truth consciousness, that it will insist on a real change. La seconde, you have said that the aim of our yoga is to rise beyond the nirvana. But in the ashram, there are extremely few who have reached or have tried to reach even the nirvana. To reach even the nirvana, one has to give up ego and desire. Could it be said that even a few sadhaks in the ashram have succeeded in doing so? Surely everybody must be making some effort to do this. Why then they are not successful? Is it that after some effort they forget the aim and live here as in ordinary life? La réponse. I suppose if the nirvana aim had been put before them, more would have been fit for it. For the nirvana aim is easier than the one we have put before us. And they would not have found it so difficult to reach the standard. The sadhaks here are of all kinds and in all stages. But the real difficulty, even for those who have progressed, is with the external man. Even among these who follow the old ideal, the external man of the sadhak remains almost the same, even after they have attained to something. The inner being gets free. The outer follows still its fixed nature. Our yoga can succeed only if the external man too changes. But that is the most difficult of all things. It is only by a change of the physical nature that it can be done. By a descent of the highest light into this lowest part of nature. It is here that the struggle is going on. The internal being of most of the sadhaks here, however imperfect still, is still different from that of the ordinary man. But the external still clings to its old ways, manners, habits. Many do not seem even to have awakened to the necessity of a change. It is when this is realized and done that the yoga will produce its full results in the ashram itself and not before. Ça, c'est un programme pour l'année prochaine maintenant.
So for people interested, I'll share the link again later in the WhatsApp group. Go back to our agenda. So I'll play a small video again. It's a musical offering, a lyric which was pending to be composed for a very long time, and it's in Tamil. A very, I would say, happy moment of mother's arrival. And in Tamil, the lyrics goes this way: Annayana Vandai, I rejoice you, my mother, here. So let me play the video now. It's வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னையன வந்தாய்,
அன்னையன வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னையன வந்தாய்,
அன்னையன வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னையன வந்தாய்,
அன்னையன வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னையன வந்தாய்,
உருவம் கொண்டென்னை காத்தருள வந்தாய்,
உருவம் கொண்டென்னை காத்தருள வந்தாய்,
ஒளிரும் புன்னகையாலே
துன்பமெல்லாம் போயினாய், அன்னையன வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னையன வந்தாய்.
மானுடத்தை மீட்க வந்த இறையன்னை நீயே, மரணமற்ற திருவுருவ நிலையில் நின்றாயே,
மானுடத்தை மீட்க வந்த இறையன்னை நீயே, மரணமற்ற திருவுருவ நிலையில் நின்றாயே,
கருணை கொண்டு எம்மை காக்கும் விழிகள் நிலவே, கருணை கொண்டு எம்மை காக்கும் விழிகள் நினதே, என் சமர்ப்பணம், என் சமர்ப்பணம், சரணங்கள் தாயே, வண்ணமிக மலர்களிலே நற்குணங்கள் தந்தாய், அன்னை என வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னை என வந்தாய், அன்னை என வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னை என வந்தாய். மங்களங்கள் தந்தருளும் மகேஸ்வரி நீயே, இருள் வினை அழித்திடும் மகாகாளி தாயே,
மங்களங்கள் தந்தருளும் மகேஸ்வரி நீயே, இருள் வினை அழித்திடும் மகாகாளி தாயே,
தனமின்பம் வளமை மகாலட்சுமி உனதே, தனமின்ப வளமை மகாலட்சுமி உனதே, கல்வி ஞானம் கலைகள் தரும் சரஸ்வதி நீ, வாழ்வனைத்தும் யோகமென வாழும் வழி சொன்னாய், அன்னை என வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னை என வந்தாய்,
அன்னை என
வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னை என வந்தாய், அன்னை என வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னை என வந்தாய்,
அன்புருவம் கொண்டென்னை
காத்தருள வந்தாய், ஒளிரும் புன்னகையாலே துன்பமெல்லாம் கொய்தாய், அன்னை என வந்தாய்
ஸ்ரீ அன்னை என வந்தாய்.
வந்தாய் ஸ்ரீ அன்னை என வந்தாய். So with that, we go to the next section, youth dramatization of the mother's arrival. And let me share the Word document so the team can start talking. I hope they are not on mute. So unmute yourself and start talking as per your names.
Thank you, Anand, and thank you for a very beautiful song. Okay, so by the youths of the Sri Aurobindo Society, Singapore, now let's hear more about the story of Mother Mira from today's book. So, how was Mother as a child?
So, Mira Alfasa was born in 1878 in Paris to a Turkish Jewish father and an Egyptian Jewish mother. The family had just migrated to France a year before Mira was born. Mira joined school very late at the age of 9, and she was interested in various fields of art, tennis, music, and singing. But her mother was always concerned about her because of a lack of permanent interest in any particular field.
By the age of 14, she had read most of the books in her father's collection, which is believed to have helped her achieve mastery over French. Eventually, during an era known for Impressionist artists, Mother became a very accomplished painter, and her paintings were accepted by the jury of Salon d'Automne and were also exhibited.
Did she know she was special or different?
She had various occult experiences in her childhood, but did not know their complete significance or relevance. She kept these experiences to herself, as her mother would have regarded these supernatural occult experiences as a mental problem to be treated.
When she was 13, she had a dream or a vision of a dark figure whom she used to call Krishna, but had never seen before in real life. In her late 20s, she studied occultism with Max Theon, who started a cosmic movement with his wife, Alma Theon. She was experiencing various memories which she knew were mental formations but spontaneous experiences. She kept those experiences to herself and developed an urge to understand their significance.
That is when she came across the book Raja Yoga by Swami Vivekananda. It provided some of the explanations that she was looking for. She also received a copy of the Bhagavad Gita in French, which helped her considerably in learning more about these experiences.
How did Mother first meet Sri Aurobindo?
Mother's second husband, Richard, who was an aspiring politician, had attempted to get elected to the French Senate from Pondicherry, which was then under French control. In his second attempt, both Mother and him set sail to Pondicherry and had fixed an appointment with Sri Aurobindo, who was then settled in Pondicherry. When she first met Sri Aurobindo, Mira recognized him in him the person whom she used to see in her dreams, Krishna. During a later meeting, she experienced a complete silence of the mind, free from any thought.
Oh, then how and when did she come back to Pondicherry?
In 1915, Mira and Richard had to leave Pondicherry due to the insistence of the British. But on the 24th of April 1920, Mira returned with Richard to Pondicherry from Japan, which is in fact exactly 100 years ago from today. Mira moved to live near Sri Aurobindo in the guest house. Richard, however, didn't stay didn't stay for long in India, and he divorced mother eventually. Owing to a fierce storm and heavy rain, Sri Aurobindo asked Mira and Dorothy Hodgson, later come be known as Datta, to move into his house. Thus, she started living in the house along with all the other inmates.
Well, what did Sri Aurobindo think of mother then?
Sri Aurobindo recognized in her an embodiment of the dynamic, expressive aspect of evolutionary creative force in India, traditionally known and approached as the Supreme Mother. He also has said, when I came to Pondicherry, a program was dictated to me from within for my sadhana. I followed it and progressed for myself, but could not do much by my way of helping others. Then came the mother, and with her help, I found the necessary method.
It's beautiful. What is the foundation of the ashram then?
With, with time, many influenced by the Arya magazine and others who had heard about Sri Aurobindo started to come to his residence, either permanently to reside or to practice Sri Aurobindo's yoga. Mother was initially not totally accepted by the other household members and was considered an outsider. Sri Aurobindo considered her to be of equal yogic stature and started calling her the mother, and she was known to the whole community as such from then on.
Around 1924 onwards, Mira was starting to organize the day-to-day functioning of the household, and slowly the house was turning into an ashram with many followers flowing in every day. After 1926, Sri Aurobindo started to retire from regular activities and put his complete focus towards yogic practices. The community had grown to 85 members by then, and the group had slowly turned into a spiritual ashram.
I see. What was mother and Sri Aurobindo's work mainly about?
It was about integral yoga. This yoga was different from older ways of yoga because the follower wouldn't necessarily give up the outer life to live in a monastery. Instead, he or she would be present in their regular life while consistently practicing spirituality. They worked all their life for the manifestation of a mode of consciousness beyond mind, which Sri Aurobindo named the supermind or the supramental. The full expression of this consciousness on Earth would result in not only a new species far beyond humans, like how humans are far beyond animals, but also in a modification of the whole terrestrial creation, one that is even more complete than the drastic change brought about by the entrance of humans on the world scene.
Between humanity and the fully supramental species, there would have to be the one or several transitional steps represented by the transitional beings that are born in the human way but are unable to contact and express the higher consciousness. These transitional beings would prepare the way for the advent of the supramental race by establishing suitable conditions, and their work continues.
Thank you, everyone. So this year we celebrate the 100th anniversary of our Supreme Mother coming to Pondicherry once and for all. Let's thank Mother for all her love and protection. And let's be grateful to her and surrender everything to her. Thank you. Thank you, Anand.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, thank you, Meenakshi and team. Very beautifully narrated. I will request Deepika to read the student's prayer, and then Meenakshi, you can do the sunlit path.
Students' Prayer, 6 January 1952. O Lord, make of us the hero warriors we aspire to become. May we fight successfully the great battle of the future that is to be won against the past, which seeks to endure, so that the new things may manifest and we are ready to receive them.
Thank you, Deepika, and a very happy birthday to you.
The divine work. So this passage is from the Sunlit Path. The three victories. The first victory is to create an individuality. And then later, the second victory is to give this individuality to the divine. And the third victory is that the divine changes your individuality into a divine being. There are three stages. The first is to become an individual. The second is to consecrate the individual, that he may surrender entirely to the divine and to be identified with him. And the third is that the divine takes possession of this individual and changes him into a being in his own image. That is, he too becomes divine. Generally, all the yogas stopped at the second, when one had succeeded in surrendering the individual and giving him without reserve to the divine, to be identified with him. One considered that his work was finished, that all was accomplished. But we begin there and we say, no, this is only a beginning. We want this divine with whom we are identified to enter our individuality and make it into a divine personality acting in a divine world. And this is what we call transformation. But the other precedes it, must precede it. If that is not done, there is no possibility of doing the third. One can't go from the first to the third. One must pass through the second. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Meenakshi. So we go back to the last item in the agenda. Will be a guided meditation by Jayantika, and then we can then open up later. I'll stop the recording after the guided meditation, then we can open up for comments and discussions. Is Jayantika there?
Jayanti, I unmuted you.
Yeah, I am here. Can you see me?
We can see you, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Because I can't see any of you. Sit here in the Samadhi lawn place so that we are with it. There is Mother's flag. I'm sure all of you can see that. And in this concentration which we are going to do, and I hope I'm being heard clearly also.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, you are.
Okay, yes. So this is going to be a very short, simple contemplation rather. This is a very special day, we all know it. World over, societies, centers, Pondicherry Ashram, Delhi Ashram branch. World over, this is a very significant day because it is the 100th year of the mother's final arrival in Pondicherry. In other words, she set her foot in this country on this day in Pondicherry and never left this place. If she hadn't done that, none of us would be sitting here doing this today. For that reason, it is a very important occasion. And also, there are other actions that she has to do as the Mahashakti in this universe, and the vibration is rife with it. So if we can remember why we are gathered here once again, we would have started in the same way, and we can slowly close our eyes and sit with ourselves, relaxed, yes, but very still within, to visit the body, still the body, to observe the breath, make it constant, as deep as possible, relaxing the body. If we could visit the mind and observe very silently and request the mind to also fall silent and perhaps still. And finally, we can go to our heart space and rest there, calling in the mother. This is her very special day, and she comes easily. She comes because the vibration is ready. The vibration is alive all over. So keep the mother in the heart space. Remember an image of hers and keep it there. It could be her feet, one of the images of her face you remember very well. Whatever comes to you, the soul knows, and it settles on that image. Be with it in stillness and silence. Be with your heart space, which is with the mother right now. I am going to read an entry made on December 28, 1928, 8 years after she arrived finally in Pondicherry. And this is a very beautiful message. It tells us her grand plan for all of us, after which we will concentrate and break the concentration at our own time. December 28, 1928. There is a power that no ruler can command. There is a happiness that no earthly success can bring. There is a light that no wisdom can possess. There is a knowledge that no philosophy and no science can master. There is a bliss of which no satisfaction of desire can give the enjoyment. There is a thirst for love that no human relation can appease. There is a peace that one finds nowhere, not even in death. It is the power, the happiness, the light, the knowledge, the bliss, the love, the peace that flow from the divine grace.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jayanteka, for a very beautiful meditation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Tara Didi just asked me to send all of you her love. She says she knows all of you and she has sent her love. She was walking somewhere around. So that is from Tara Didi.
So nice. Thank you. You're blessed.
Lots of love. Bye bye.
Sanjay, you might want to unmute. I'll leave the recording on. We can just, that was a best closing meditation you've got so far. So why not you?
Thank you, everyone. I'm just going to unmute you guys. If anybody wants to come on and say something, please feel free to do so.
I think we had the most blessed 24th April meeting, though we are impaired by not being physically there. It is so beautifully organized by you all, and we're blessed by the master. This morning, it started with our ability to log into the ashram site where we could see the samadhi in complete peace. And 2 squirrels were representing, I think, all of humanity there. There was complete silence. It was a beautiful way to start the morning, and an even more beautiful way to end our evening today. I don't know who all planned and who all have come together to do it, but this is absolutely an amazing experience. So beautiful, so wonderful. I'd like to thank all of you, and so nice to see that we have not just Singapore, but I see my sister from Pondicherry, I see Delhi. So it is so nice that it has been done so well. And invoking others' blessings, I say this is really, really beautiful. I'd like to thank all the youngsters, the youth who have participated in this with a lot of enthusiasm and planned it. And Anand and Sanjay, beautifully, Anand, Sanjay, I think Jared, very good choices made, and everything has worked in technology. Nothing has without a blemish. You see everything beautiful in others. So, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Radha. So I've recorded this. I'll be saving this, the whole program. Hopefully, I'll try to edit a few pieces and then upload it to our SAS website so we can have a very straightforward or relook at technology. That's one of the good advantages of these online meetings that nowadays recorded. So, okay.
Internal control checklist.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to close the meeting.
Just give me 1 second.
Bye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening, nice weekend
Thank you,
ahead.
Sanjay and Anand, especially.
Thank you to everybody else, Meenakshi, yourself, I think Jared, Swati, the
Jared as
kids, youth, everybody.
Correct.
All of you made it successful. Thank you.